What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful day in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Finally, this is early March, and as you can see from the intro of the video, everything is in bloom, which is, for a Northeasterner dude, unbelievable in early March. So I will take it. In the last episode, you saw us make these alignment stands, and I gotta tell you, even a few days on, I am so stoked on these. This episode is a huge episode for the channel and for the Auto Union 1000 SP project. You guys already know what we got from EvaResto in a couple of boxes that came in a week ago. We're finally unboxing the full bolt-in air suspension setup for the 1000 SP. But more importantly for you guys, Volkswagen Beetle, Volkswagen air-cooled application. In these boxes is a full front and rear bolt-in air suspension kit from EvaResto in the United Kingdom, which is, I think, the first of its kind. And if not, it's the best of its kind. And as you guys have seen on the 64 giveaway Beetle, all the EvaResto suspension is top tier quality. I have just been chomping at the bit to open these boxes up. Okay, so this box definitely looks like it's been through a war. The majority of his customers are here in America. They ship more to America from England than they do in England or Europe. The 64 Beetle suspension arrived in 2 days, and a box bigger than this that weighed like 80 pounds was around $200. Insane. You can hardly ship something that big of that weight for $200 across America domestically and still get it there in 2 days. We're gonna be running a 2-inch narrowed beam. The Auto Union body is significantly wider than a Beetle, especially at the front. Even with the stock width Beetle beam underneath this 1000 SP body, it's a pretty sunken, narrow front end. So essentially everything you see here is EvaResto's premium early front air kit. Everything that you need for the front end of your 65 or earlier Volkswagen Beetle. The fully assembled beam with the free roll rods, which are already inside. We've got the early style steering extender kit with fittings. There's 2 lower shock mount relocators. We've got the steering box clamp lock stop kit. We've got 2 fully custom air sleeve shocks that Max builds himself for this application. We've got the EvaResto skid plate, the EvaResto E. Even comes with the beam seals. These are the front beam bolts and body mount bushings. And some EvaResto stickers, including their cool little like VIN plate sticker, which I'm actually going to make a laser engraved acrylic plate out of this, which I think will be a really cool thing to tie into the car. So that's box number 1. Let's get box number 2 opened up. That should be everything we need for the rear, plus a few other parts. All right, guys, so here is the complete rear bolt-in. I can't stress that part enough. It's a bolt-in rear air suspension setup for a Volkswagen Beetle or Karmann Ghia, or a 1960 Auto Union 1000 SP in this case, that's on a Beetle pan. I've got the drop spindles out now too. So these are drop spindles for a kingpin that will also allow us to run disc brakes. That's what these guys down here are. So these are a 3-inch drop spindle that'll allow us to go to disc brakes, which will give us better rotor hat PCD options. The quality of this stuff is just next level. If you guys are trying to bag or lower your Volkswagen Beetle, your Karmann Ghia, your Thing, any Type 3, Max is a huge Type 3 guy, you gotta hit up EvaResto. Hit them up on Instagram or go right to their website. The stuff, bar none, is some of the best out there. We've got their full kit in the 64 Beetle. We're gonna have the unbelievable premium kit in the 1000 SP. We're gonna have their Type 3 kit in the Fastback soon. Haven't talked too much about that, but we're going to EvaResto that car as well. We're gonna go static in that thing. And before the end of the year, I really hope to work with Max on a wild custom setup in the BMW 700 Sport Coupe. If you've been on the channel, you guys know that this thing is already on a late Beetle pan. This is on a ball joint IRS shortened Volkswagen Beetle pan, which is shortened by 13 inches, or just under 13 inches. And my father and I custom built everything in that car, tube chassis inside the body, so much work, but I wanna go even narrower in that thing. I'm so excited to be working with EvaResto on this project. There's no question we are putting the best products possible on this car. If you're a Beetle guy or an air-cooled Volkswagen guy, you'll notice a very key element is missing out of all these parts, and that is the drop plates. We got those ahead of time from Max, and they are currently in the car, right there. One more tidbit about the premium rear air kit is it comes with a dual bellow airbag, normally with this full kit, but we're gonna be working with bag riders on management and the airbag. So although we've got the full front setup from EvaResto with the custom air shocks, air sleeves, we are going to be going to bag riders for the dual bellow bags that'll go in the rear, and also the management system that'll power the whole thing. Corey's helping get the axle boots replaced, which as you can see is not clean job.
That's fine.
Yeah, these guys have given up their ghost a long time ago, and now that these axles are at an indexing that they've never been at before and have even farther to go, it's time to get these things replaced. So I had actually ordered boots a while ago, so these ones are going on. All right, so we were literally 30 seconds into taking this front end apart. All we've got off is the drum. And Corey noticed a really cool thing. Now, a lot of you air-cooled guys might be able to tell us if this is standard 1959 or early 60s procedure. The 3 bolts that hold the backing plate to the spindle are safety wired through the actual head of the bolt. That is motorsport stuff.
Super cool. Race car.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never seen that either. Is that normal? Or did someone go above and beyond to make sure that those bolts would not back out? Leave it down in the comments below. Have you guys seen OEM safety wired stuff at all on a Beetle? It's heavy with that box on it.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. If you guys are new to the channel or haven't seen any of the content on this pan, this is where I shortened it. The Auto Union 1000 SP is 2 inches shorter of a wheelbase than a Volkswagen Beetle, which is crazy because this car seems like such a bigger car than a Beetle. But indeed, it's got a 92.5 inch wheelbase, whereas the Beetle's a 94.5 inch wheelbase. So since we only went 2 inches, I went up here to leave my shift rod and all that stuff all together. So anyway, that's where this was shortened. Before we put the new EvaResto beam on, I think we're gonna start at the rear. What you won't see in this episode is all 4 wheels back on the car, simply because this front end setup with the drop spindles that came in the EvaResto kit are set up for disc brakes. And this was not on disc brakes, and I don't have any of the drums in stock yet. I'm still trying to figure out what PCD I'm going to go to, which is the bolt pattern. All right, so the kit comes with all the hardware you need, and that's quite a bit because this is indeed a bolt-on system. So we're not gonna be doing any cutting or welding. Well, we are on the car, but not for this kit. And what we're gonna start with is one of these U-bolt clamps and one of the rear bag top halves. And that is this wild looking setup. I mean, essentially, this whole kit bolts together in OEM holes and ports and utilizes where other things mount to create its own like rear subframe. So this will kind of cradle torsion tube like that, and this slot here will utilize your OEM upper shock mount. All right, so the bag bracket top half is mounted. As you can see here, the inside cradle fits right over the torsion tube, and the U-bolt basically tightens it to the torsion tube, and in the back, it utilizes the upper shock tower mount. The inside of the upper half bag bracket itself is hex shaped, so the bolt head fits in nice and snug, so you don't have to worry about it spinning when you ultimately tighten what is the supplied nylock nut. So we're putting this stuff together with just regular nuts, so we can tighten everything down just to kind of put it in place, and then when we finally install it for the last time, we'll use all the nylock nuts. So now that we got both sides of the upper halves on, it's time to mount the upper crossbar. And this here connects the two and essentially helps connect the whole subframe that we're basically building in the back of this car.
Okay. Let me get this nut off more. Oh yeah, that was it.
So now that we have the crossbar in, it kind of pulls both together because it's a tight fit. It's designed to fit pretty snug. So keep everything loose as you're putting it together. Max has a pretty in-depth installation guide for the rear and the front. This crossbar can be mounted in front of the upper half flange or in the back, just as long as both sides are mounted in the same spot. So we decided the back for now. Our next step is to ultimately get these link arms in. They've got a heim joint on either end, and these span from the upper bag half here, from this tab, down to transmission cradle frame horns. And what these do is these help distribute not just the weight of the whole thing, but this helps alleviate shock load to each of our mount points here. So when you're driving the car under the weight and hitting things on the road, you know, all your shock load won't just be on this cast arm, which could ultimately make it snap or fail in some way. So what Max and the guys have done is they've designed numerous mount points to help distribute the weight and shock load of everything. So it's really quite a cool design. The lightning bolt EvaResto logo clamp goes underneath, and those will fit right up underneath, just like that. And then the top ones mount with the tab facing forward on the car, just like so. So we already had our spring plate in. Max sent this to us a long time ago, it feels like. The bag bracket and the lower shock relocator all utilize these 3 bolts, or the shock locator only uses 2 bolts. Max recommends running your bolts pointed out to keep your stud, your inner stud over here, close to the airbag.
Then this goes on the back.
Yep.
So you're sandwiching all 4 of those things together with the 1 bolt. And then the longest one goes down through the existing shock mount and through the plate.
I can't stress enough how cool this setup is, and that Max went through the painstaking R&D process of just developing this. We've used a lot of my own M12 nuts from my bolts and nuts kit. Shout out to my girlfriend's brother Gary for getting me a small bolts and nuts hardware bin for Christmas, because we've been using a lot of the non-nylock nuts out of that kit to mock everything up with. Before we mount the shock itself, which will mount there and up here, we'd be running into brake line issues. Now, from the factory, your brake line comes out of the back of the wheel cylinder here and runs down along the top of your axle or to the side. And now that we're going to be experiencing an aggressive rate of suspension travel, you'd be putting unwanted pressure and tugging on your brake line. So Max actually provides a brake line routing solution for that, and it even comes with the brake lines themselves. There's one more hole in this lower shock bracket, and your brake line will pass through that and go along the bottom of your axle where that clamp will hold that guide, and right where that guide is, you'll go to your rubber hose, which goes to the factory tab right there. Well, that's the rear buttoned up, minus brake lines, minus airbags. I can't say enough good things about this. It's incredible, like, what he's been able to do with the space that's allowed, with the mount points that are allowed, without cutting or welding. I mean, I've said that a few times already. Yeah, EvaResto did an incredible job on this kit. Also, the other main thing I want to do in this episode is get this beam mounted and set the Auto Union 1000 SP body back down, and just make sure our strut towers will still fit inside our inner wheel well, what used to be engine bay. Holy. All right, so the beam and the skid plate are mounted. We got that tightened up and on the pan head. I'm thinking this piece here should have gone a long time ago, but I didn't want to cut it out in case I needed it, because this bottom part was just about touching the top of the trans case where I think I want the body. But I think this is gonna line up right on top of this crossbar, which means it's gotta go, which means the body will have to stay up a solid 6 inches or so. So we'll bring the body down, we'll take a look. I probably won't cut that off tonight. That'll be in another episode where we start really mocking up how we're gonna frame in everything. All right, so it turns out that piece that comes down off the rear parcel shelf is directly in line with that rear top cross member and is literally about ready to touch it. So they could not have lined up any better if you tried. So for now, I'm not gonna get the body down as far as I want it quite yet. Since the EvaResto shock towers are taller, we might run into issues with how far those things stick up for how far down the body needs to go. We're not gonna know that in this episode because I need to cut that out. And we might have to modify the top of these. Yeah, it's getting close. You know, I'm gonna get in there with a tape measure real quick because this is actually starting to worry me now. For how far down the body normally goes, which is at least, the body needs to go down at least another 4.5 inches. I'm not sure if we have 4.5 inches up front. I really didn't want to cut into this. And actually, we can't cut into it too much because as you can see here, this is where the hood goes. And this is not that much farther down. If we actually start to run into issues of how far down the body needs to go in relation to the shock towers actually poking up through the hood, that might be real bad. We got about 4.5 inches to go there. What do we got here? Oh no, that is literally 2.25 inches. I think we have a problem. Not sure I like that hurdle at all. Now remember, this beam is set up to basically body drop a Volkswagen Beetle. That's intended to get the Beetle as low as possible. And there is room inside the Beetle inner fenders for that shock tower raise. Unfortunately, we may not have the room to spare for how far down that body needs to go for how tall those shock towers are. Well, all right, guys, I'm gonna end the video there. It's been a huge, huge leap forward on this car and on this project altogether. I can't thank Max and everyone at EvaResto enough for being a part of this project. I am so stoked to be working with them on the 1000 SP and be using their bolt-in bag kit for a Beetle and Ghia. We still have yet to fully assemble the front end, but we do have to send out the knuckles and spindles to get rebuilt. But also, I am not liking what's going on up in that wheel well. I really don't want to cut that up. We're gonna have to. So stay tuned on that. That is yet to be determined. That's the cliffhanger there. I don't know what we're gonna do there or how we're gonna overcome that. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and for being a part of this whole journey with this car. I appreciate all of you. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow in a massive way. So stay tuned for the next episode, and we will see you guys very shortly.